Hello one and all, welcome to the Galaxy Man Show channel here. We are here with Bernie Van Tiel. So Bernie, what can you tell me about when you first got the role of Jade from for the Jade of Death series, and what was your most favorite part about filming Jade of Death season 1?
Okay, so starting with the first half of that question, I was in acting school when I landed the role, which is bizarre because I was still learning the ins and outs of the craft. But the writer slash director, Erin Good, was actually teaching at our college at the time. And she noticed me and just how I was acting and just how my personality was in general, and she took an interest, but she wanted to make the casting fair, so she put out an open casting call for everyone, and I auditioned because I was interested in the script when she pitched it. And yeah, she really liked my audition. Our producer Taylor Litton Strain really liked it as well, so they both made the decision to have me on board. They had a callback session where they needed some chemistry testing with the love interest, who's played by Jordan Cowan. And we both did really well in that audition. And both got cast for our roles of Jade and Maya. My favorite part of filming the whole entire thing, like there's so many things. Like, first of all, we filmed that in Erin Good's garage, like her shed. It's not even a garage, it's like a shed, where you see the red tent and curtains and everything. So we had amazing set dressers just dress up this tiny shed in the middle of summer where it was boiling hot, and we would do these scenes. Like, that aspect to it is something that I absolutely love, because it shows that you can make a high production series on a very low budget. But overall, the thing that I took away was probably the location shoot, where we shot a lot of the flashback scenes, and the other location shoot where we had the carnival. And again, the set design, the extras were amazing. The team was just absolutely all hands on deck. And we filmed that out at Marrickville Community Center, I think it is. So everyone in the inner west of Sydney knows where that is, and they have markets every weekend. And we shot till 3 a.m. The next morning, and we had to basically, well, the whole production team had to basically collapse everything and finish on time so that they were out of the way when the markets had to come the next day. So that was pretty cool. It was just blew me away how many people were involved, like how many extras we had. Like, we had hundreds of extras, how many people on crew we had, and just the incredible set design that people built a carnival out of nothing. So that was pretty cool.
And for my second question, what was it like working with, let me get his name up. What was it like working with Nicholas Hope, with him playing the villain?
Amazing. Nicholas Hope is an incredible human being, first and foremost, but also he's an incredible actor. I learned so much just from being in his presence. I learned so much from a lot of the people on set, because, you know, I was basically the rookie that came on board, because I was still in acting school learning everything and hadn't quite got my face out there yet. So being in the same room as Bad Boy Bobby, aka Nicholas Hope, was insane. Like, the way he approaches things with such freedom, the way he thinks outside the box and develops his role, and even the way he speaks is it's very well thought out. Even, I don't know, like, if it's something that comes second nature to him, or if it's something that he's just done years and years of training for. I don't know, maybe a combination of both, but I sincerely admire him as a creative and a human being. And that goes out for, you know, the rest of the cast and crew, but specifically for that question, yeah, it was a breathtaking experience, really.
Nice. And for my third question, with the whole Jade and Maya situation, where do you want to see that relationship go in season 2?
Well, funny you ask, because the ABC got a lot of budget cuts, our iView project couldn't come to fruition for season 2 for funding, but that hasn't deterred Erin or Taylor. Erin especially is redeveloping the script to be a TV length series, I believe, because she's just finished the pilot, and it's in circulation at the moment. It's a finalist for the Sundance Festival, which is really, really cool. So it seems that some fairly important people really like what the new development of the pilot is looking like, and I'm just really excited to really just sink my teeth into it and start filming that, like, because it's going to be, she's redeveloped the story. She's I mean, Jade and Maya are still at the core of it, of course, as well as our favorite characters, but just in terms of like the ins and outs and the nuances that are happening throughout the story, it's just a little bit different, but different good.
Nice. And for my fourth question, with Jade of Death being such a success, with season 1 being so amazing, what would your take on Jade for season 2 be? What would you want to see Jade get up to in season 2?
Well, like I said, like, we're not really into season 2, just because of all the stuff that we've had to redevelop. For the pilot, however, and for the new series that's coming through, because we're redoing it as season 1. So for that pilot, I'd really love to see Jade kind of explore more of her abilities. I'd love to see more stunts, like more action. And I'd love to see the relationships between her mom and those she holds really dear to her explored in a bit more depth. I mean, when you have a longer form format or media to work with, like a TV length pilot, you can kind of explore those relationships a little bit more and those themes more thoroughly. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing whatever happens with that, come
Nice.
what may.
Nice. And for my fifth question, so you do beatboxing. What interests you what interests you? I see you go to a lot of comps with about beatboxing and stuff. What do you find the most interesting about beatboxing, and who got you into beatboxing in the first place?
Okay, so I feel like beatboxing is just this language that we're born with, because we don't really have language developed, so to speak, in terms of, like, English or Spanish or whatever language is your home language. We don't have that from the get-go. It's something we learn. So instead, when we're verbal, as tiny little humans, we explore sounds to get what we want. And those sounds just come out as like tones and plosives and consonants and stuff. So it's basically just this language that you then further develop. And me being like a really eclectic human and someone who gets bored very easily, exploring beatboxing just became the second nature, I guess. So, like, I was always making noises, always making weird sounds and character voices and stuff like that. Mostly to Onai, my older sister. But I guess when I was about 12, my cousin's boyfriend at the time showed me a CD that had Razel on it. And for those who don't know Razel, he used to rock with the Wu-Tang Clan back in the day. And he was like the godfather of noise. He brought beatboxing from the underground to the surface, and he toured around with that sort of stuff and had MCs rock over the mic, but then he also soloed by himself. And I heard a CD of him doing that. And my cousin was like, this is all vocal. This is all from his voice. And I flipped out. I was like, what the hell? So I wanted to copy that and explore what he was doing. And so it started off building from what I was hearing in him. And then it developed into my own style. And as beatboxing evolves, because it's still like it's becoming incredibly diverse in what you're able to do with your voice these days. Yeah, because beatboxing is becoming incredibly diverse and evolved. It's just forever keeping my interest. And I get to be in a really cool observational standpoint, being an MC of a lot of the beatbox events that happen in Australia, because I get to watch some of the best just go hard on the mic, and I'm just always in awe, basically. And so I'll go home and I'll develop it myself. But I think it's the fact that there is no wrong you can do in beatboxing that interests me so much. There's no trial and error. It's just trial and succeed, you know?
And to get on to that point with succeeding, what would you say to someone who wants to get into acting or beatboxing if they came up to you? What would you say to them? And what movies or like other franchises would you want to be in if you could?
Cool. Anyone who wants to get into acting or beatboxing or anything creative, anything at all, do it. Honestly, if you want to, I don't see why anything or anyone should stop you. I would say forever build your skill set and be open to change, be open to exploring, and be open to direction and guidance, because if you get set in your way, you're not really going to grow as a human, and therefore your craft isn't going to get any better. I think that in any way, like, you don't do it because you want fame. Don't do it because you want quote unquote success. Really question what success means to you. And if that just means happiness, then honestly, there's no harm in just doing what you really love to do. Educate yourself as well. Explore different movies, explore different sounds, explore different music, different genres, different people. Like, get involved and dive into that diversity, because it is so rewarding and so liberating when you do. And it's quite a nice community that you find within it as well. Second half of that question, what franchises or what movies I want to get myself into? Honestly, at this point, I think like maybe even a month ago or 6 months ago, I would answer this question so differently. But at this point in my life, I just love to act. I just love to be creative. And anything that offers itself up to that opportunity, I'm in. I am so in. I mean, yeah, I've got the, general outlook of going to LA, going to New York, going overseas and to Canada and to, the UK, and kind of globetrotting with that talent and exploring and working with different people and different dialects and stuff. I would love to be in like lots of action movies. They look like a whole lot of fun. Like, I would love a role where I have to like undergo some sort of training and discipline in order to execute a particular type of performance, because that's something I'm not doing at the moment. And therefore I want to involve myself in that so I can grow and develop my craft. But yeah, no, with that said, when it comes down to it, whatever just keeps me going and keeps me happy, I just want to do. Like, I think there's a lot of indie films out there as well that have incredible concepts, but a lack of funding or a lack of people who want to do it for free. But it's an incredible story and an incredible script, so why not do it? So I would totally lend myself to that as well.
Well, thank you so much, Bernie, for joining my Galaxy Man show. It was a pleasure having you on my show. Everyone, go support Bernie. Go support Jade of Death. The pilot's coming out soon. So, yeah, definitely go support Bernie and Jade of Death. And, yeah, she's such an incredible actress. And, yeah, keep up the great work, Bernie. So, thank you
very much.
one and all.
Cheers.
And bye for now.